I just spout a bunch of nonsense about how SF is, you know, sick and whatnot, and then he just kind of feeds because the hero's weird and squishy and etc. We'll see. My hopes are high because this is a, you know, my favorite thing about SF safe lane, you literally don't have spells. You don't have spells. You just go stats, no shadow rays. You don't have to be, you can be the dumbest idiot and still be good at Dota and play SF safe lane because you're just a turret that does a ton of damage.
Oh boy, Ghost here in this bottom lane does end up getting spotted by the gang train, and they'll end up getting that first blood.
Fortunately for RNG, GH got it, so it's not the most impactful hero to get a first blood. If your mid gets first blood, or if the enemy mid gets first blood, it's just like a guaranteed one mid lane because you get a super early bottle.
Sorry about that. Yep. Having just an audio thing right now.
I see you're getting GG'd by. Is it the air conditioner? Is it that heat wave? Oh, Miracle.
Nah.
Miracle walked up.
Yeah.
Nah, he's fine. He's
Gets
fine.
strained a little bit here, but
yeah.
Don't be too worried. Nice shards coming out from GH. Just going to continue to put the pressure over onto Kaka. But they're just going to walk away and head back to respective lanes.
Yeah, they're doing the GH Miracle lane again. They really liked this in the last game with a pretty similar. Well, is it that similar? I don't know. SF minus armor though with the Tusk tag team. This is going to be super effective. They don't have the troll slow in this game, so it's less of a little bit less of a kill lane. As a bot lane.
I will say that I do like the draft coming out from RNG this time around, just because it is more high tempo, and it needed to be, right, for what they picked up. But it definitely has a better fighting chance than the draft that they had before, where it was very dependent on getting to that late game.
Yeah, definitely. There's not like some crazy ultimates that they're waiting for. Like I think that was a poignant. I don't know what that word means. Point from you, like that they had the ultimate, like the cooldowns. It's something that could be abused. This one, it's like, yeah, of course they have some cooldowns, but it's not as like as obvious as the last game where it's like, oh, that's kind of a lot of them, you know.
Continue to see that harass going back and forth here in the bottom lane. Nothing too crazy just yet, though.
No.
Top lane, a little bit of a slow over onto Chalice.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting some weird audio stuff right now. Sorry, guys.
Am I echoing? What's happening?
I can hear you in multiple sources, and I'm not getting anything through the PGM right now.
Uh-oh.
These things happen. It happens. We're a remote tag team coming in. Pressure being placed over onto Miracle. They have the slow. Can they get the kill? Now Kaka will fall first. As a couple more clicks over onto Miracle, Chalice will be able to get that kill.
Yep, that's one problem with SF safe lane is that you push the lane because you have presence of the Dark Lord. So all the creeps are going to die, and then you're really far up on a very squishy hero. So that is one problem with this hero. It looks really good from ahead, but on equal ground, it can look a little weak. As by the way, mid lane, Somnus is just dominating.
I mean, this is Zeus. He's being able to kind of spam out some of the stuff, which definitely helps, but does have to be careful, though. Once Sumail gets that level 6 online with those Astral Steps, it's going to make things a lot more difficult for the Zeus, because Heavenly Jump only takes you so far.
Yeah, it does. This Void Spear pick was a really great pick for Nigma. They needed an assassin Void Spear because he has 2 steps and not just one. He can actually jump a backline Zeus and set up for his team. As let's see. Yeah, Somnus still doing very well. The first rune will be very important, the first power rune. Sumail really wants to look to get that because Yeah, he's losing lane, but his hero's a lot better at rotating. You can come down here to this bot lane, get a kill with the DK stun. That's always a possibility. Even go to the top lane to recover Miracle a bit. I say recover because I expect that he'll need it because he's getting pretty pressured up here.
Yeah, he's just getting run at constantly. Chalsto's sitting very low. They wanted this kill on Miracle, but now they have to be careful because GH taking advantage of the fact that Chalice was getting a bit too greedy, trying to go for that kill, will punish him.
Yeah, surprisingly, like it's not the most uncommon thing to see that happen in SF lanes. You just do so much damage with the minus armor, especially with the Tusk, that like you often see this hero get overcommitted on because he's so squishy, and then all of a sudden like he turns around and just kills you because he chunks you for like half your HP. Even
this is still not looking great for Miracle here, as they did connect in the top lane. Sap a little bit of this damage here from GH. Spoke too soon. It's just a caster's curse. It happens. It happens.
This is good pressure. This is what RNG needs to do to punish the SF safe lane. It's like you can't be disheartened by him turning around and getting a kill on you. The hero is so squishy.
Right now, they're looking at terms of CS, 33-2 on Zeus, 24-5 over on the Void Spirit. So definitely looking very, very good right now. And we can see that nice added bonus of having the Abaddon in the lane. Whenever Mind Control tries to go and put out the Dragon Tail, it's just immediately going to get taken off as lose Kaka on the top lane. This aggression back and forth here.
Yeah,
One thing
that I was not thinking about during the draft that makes this Bloodseeker pick so good is that RNG is playing against an SF safe lane with Razor, so they know that they want to keep pressuring up here. As actually Chalice is getting stumbled on. Maybe he's the one that's getting pressured.
Yeah, he is getting pressured for sure because he can't get away from all of this. So that's just another kill going over to Miracle. It's just a back and forth brawl in this top lane.
Yeah.
Background. There it is. There's the Thunder God's Wrath coming out. Somnus making his presence known without actually being there.
Yeah, all of this, you know, Bloodseeker bottom lane, he's just like, yes, be low HP, keep fighting, keep fighting. Also, he has a Zeus mid, so obviously this hero is going to be doing so much chunk damage, keeping Sumail low.
Next Nova getting drawn in over here to Sumail. Sumail chasing after Somnus a bit, does have that level 6 online, but isn't going to overcommit, not with having the Abaddon nearby.
Yeah, RNG, they're super happy with this game going passively. They've a Zeus mid, they've Razor off lane. This is a, you know, carry type hero in the off lane. Bloodseeker safe lane. I actually think this is one of the strongest late game heroes in Dota right now because of the Agshar doing percentage pure damage. It looks incredible going late.
One of the other things I hadn't considered too about this particular draft coming out from RNG is the fact that they have a lot of vision, right? You've got a Zeus whose ultimate is going to provide vision, can also provide dewarding. Not that, you know, a lot of Zeus is really focused too much on that when they're core, but then with the Thirst, right, with the Bloodseeker, gives you a lot of information depending on how you use these spells. Uh-oh, Kaka gonna roll right into GH. There's no hope for him here. He will just end up dying. And jump over to the mid lane. They're trying to put pressure over onto Somnus. The TPs are coming out. Are they going to be in time, though, is the question. Snova's here. He's going to be able to protect Somnus. Heal him back up again. And Kuroki just wanders over, gives a little bit more mana over here to the Void Spirit.
This good pressure from Sumail. I think when you're playing into Zeus, you can't just sit there and let him chip away at you. You have to like go for a kill and pressure the fact that he's a super squishy hero. His stats are pretty bad. But there's this defensive support in the Abaddon coming in. And Chalice?
Chalice can try to get some protection from the tower. Uses the Fairy Fire, but nope. Still will end up dying. The Thunder God's Wrath, though, cleaning up on GH. And in comes Kaka. He wants this kill. Miracle. Good silence getting placed down. It should be a kill now. Being split between Chalice, Somnus, Kaka. And goes, wow, everybody helped take that guy down.
Yeah, that was... They basically got nothing for it.
Very low Sumail, too. Draw back. X-Nova already in position. Throws out that shield. Gonna try to punish Sumail here, but doesn't have that lockdown, unfortunately. So he's gonna be able to keep his mid alive. And see the TPs over to the mid lane, just refilling up the bottle. So the pressure continues, though, with Chalice being here. Not quite enough damage to get the kill on Sumail just yet. The roll in over the back lines. Okay, never mind. I stand corrected. RNG. And they're still chasing after X Nova. He is leading them on quite the chase here. So the rest of the team, look at this big stack too.
Oh,
Ooh,
they see the stacks.
juicy stack.
Yeah. Oh boy, that's gonna be good.
Multiples. You do not want to lose these stacks if you're Nigma right now.
RNG, man, they're respecting it. Wow. They trade
They'll end up losing the Abaddon.
Yeah, okay, well, I mean, I guess if you're RNG, your thoughts are like, well, we forced everybody on Nigma over here to protect those. So even if they get the stacks, it's not worth it. That's what I would imagine. They had no mana on Somnus, so it did feel a little bit weird to, like, who's going to kill those? You know, a Razor with Eye of the Storm and Plasma Field? It's going to be just Somnus. So
I mean, there were 3 people chasing after X Nova during that fight too, so that was a lot of space.
Yeah, big commitment.
Another thing, now that stacks are there is the potential to be able to punish them in terms of if they try to take the stack. People will probably sit a little bit low, and you can't afford to sit low against a Bloodseeker and a Zeus, right? So they have to be very careful in the way that they take. Another good silence over here onto Miracle. Not gonna be able to quite finish him off as Mind Control and GH find Kaka. Go for that Walrus Punch, but Chalice following up with the Plasma is gonna just hold on to Mind Control, sap all this damage if possible with the Eye of the Storm too. He's just breaking him down and chases him right underneath the tower.
I like that Somnus went for the Thunder God's Wrath.
Went for the Thunder God.
Just in case Miracle was greedy and stuck around to like go take a stack or whatever at low HP, he just goes for the play anyway. Yeah, this is looking really good for RNG. I feel like I heard a rupture.
Oh, I heard a rupture over in the mid lane. Samael held into place. The silence follow up from Kaka with the kick. Ooh, that's a nice combo. Bottom lane though, Chalice is getting run at. They get the silence off. They get the heal too coming out from X Nova, so they'll be able to protect the Razor for a little bit longer.
Yeah, that was just some weird support action down there from Nigma. Running at Chalice with the 2 supports. Not exactly 2 heroes that have a lot of kill threat together, the Caudal and the Tusk. RNG, they're playing this incredibly well. Kaka in particular, like, he's absolutely on point this game. Let's see, he's 0-3-7, so other than 1 kill, he's been involved in every single one of them.
Impressive. Has been very, very active, which is what you want to see coming out from that hero. X Nova, bottom lane, the borrowed time does end up proccing as Nigma waits patiently for it to run out, and they're going to continue to try to put the pressure down. Again, fairly survivable hero is going to make them work for it, but this is some more space going over to the side of RNG. They've got the Cardi, be able to get the bottom tower, as top tower is getting some pressure placed on, but not nearly to the same extent here from the side of RNG.
Yeah, they don't really have great heroes at taking towers, so this catapult, very important for them. They're probably pretty happy that Nigma did not mount a defense of this tower, considering. But yeah, even trade 1 for 1 in terms of towers.
You can see the way that Nigma is preparing themselves to take this mid tower. Got a nice deep ward getting placed over here on the side. The rest of RNG make their way over. Do have Kaka smoked up, so if anyone's out of position, could try to make that leap forward.
Okay, finally one of these mids gets a rune. I feel like for this entire game, it's just been the supports taking them, because there's this 3-man mid for the runes. It's games of Dota just seem to be like that now for mids. It's just like the runes are really for supports these days. So
well, just because you don't want the other mid to get it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So a lot of times the supports just have to snap it up.
Yeah, it's like the rune spawns wherever your mid is not, so the support's like, well, I have to take it.
Kaka a little bit forward here, but they'll protect him and continue to place the pressure over here on the mid lane. Uro continuing to spam out the lanes, try to keep them off the tower, as you can see the Dragon Knight pushing in the bottom lane. And the rest of Nigma kind of grouped up here behind the tower. They'll go for Thunder God's Wrath. They want a little bit of vision. They see Miracle, but this is looking like a very dead Kaka as he dives on in. The rest of the team was not prepared for it. Not quite yet. So it looks like Nigma will continue to protect their tower.
I like that Miracle just pops his ult the moment the Zeus ult comes out. He knows the Zeus ult is coming out to scout. And so, like, somebody from RNG is going to jump in based on the scouting knowledge. And so he just ults and says, like, whatever. Like, somebody's, like, so, like, as soon as Kaka goes in, he just immediately gets feared. And the initiation is botched. Because Miracle just has the presence of mind to know what the Zeus ult means.
One might even say the presence of the Dark Lord.
No, nobody would say that, actually. That makes no sense.
A little bit of invasion coming out now from the side of Nigma.
Oh, wait. Speaking of presence of the Dark Lord, he's actually only got 2 points at it. He's going stats. Huh. That's interesting.
How do you feel about that?
He's really valuing the HP, I suppose. Maybe there's also some like damage threshold where you get more from the +2 agi. Well, I doubt it. It's probably just to be tanky, but I've seen people do this on SF. Like either you always skip Shadow Rays and go for stats, but I have seen people go 2 points in presence and then go stats, because like you minus all the creeps to 0 armor with 5 armor anyway. So, but it's not like minus armor is bad. So it is literally just because like I think he wants to be tanky.
Find GH over here on the side of the river, and they're gonna see if they can burst him down in time, and indeed they can. There will be no TPing out here for this Tusk.
A bit of space. I think GH is like, yeah, whatever. Walking around their jungle, doing some crazy shenanigans. Sometimes you go down as Nigma. They're just planting their coddle in front of the tower. It's so hard to push into this hero. Like both sides struggle to push in this game because you've Zeus on one side and coddle on the other.
Yeah, you would need to get some sort of a jump over onto the Keeper of the Light. And you do have, you have Kaka on the Earth Spirit, but the second they go for a dive, people are going to show up to that tower. And of course, we have a Blink Dagger completed now for Mind Control. So he's starting to come online. It's getting sent to him right now. I have a lot of very strong initiation presence between him and GH.
And he moved the courier into the trees too, so he's not showing the blink. I would imagine they go for a smoke. Yeah, GH has one coming out on courier. Oh, they're looking for Ghost.
This is the time. A bit of chase. Kaka is there though. Get the taunt top over onto Ghost and try to zip around. They'll turn back around over onto Miracle. They need to get a little bit more damage off, and they do indeed have it. So they'll end up losing the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, SF kind of feels like the new Sniper, and I say that because Sniper now feels like a totally different hero to what he was. Where like if you're caught out, you're just dead. You just can't do anything. As we see another pathetic support pick up a rune, so the mids will not be getting those again. Very sad.
Now X-Nova parked himself here in the middle lane. He's gonna try to clean up these creeps. I just feel like it's been a battle between the two mids. Bottom lane though, GH is getting chased after her by Chalice. Should be able to get the kill, but now this is looking a little scary here for the Razor. Mind Control again has that blink, the jump forward here, and yes, they'll find a kill.
Chalice is probably okay with that. I mean, it's a solo kill. There's 3 guys hitting you and you still solo kill somebody.
Yeah.
I think you're always pretty happy when something like that happens, especially as an offliner. Like, that's just space created.
This game feels a little bit more comfortable here for the side of RNG. You can see that the 2 cores are sitting at the top net worth, 8.5k on Bloodseeker and 7.3 on Zeus. So definitely not as behind as they were, and they are going to be able to use this momentum to really solidify their place here in the game. What do we see for items, though, coming out for the next one? Looks like getting close to a BKB for Bloodseeker, and it's going to be the Kaya Sanj for Zeus.
Yeah, it's going to be big damage. And they have the Blood Rage plus Zeus combo. That's feels like a classic at this point. One of the few heroes that you put the Blood Rage on, and it's all about that magic damage and not the attack speed. As if Zeus didn't do enough damage.
God, remember when that spell first came out and people would just have the Zeus sitting in like the fountain, getting Blood Rage and just hitting his R button?
Yeah, people were abusing that for MMR. Like you would get Smurf detected because your damage was so high, and they had to fix that. As Chalice probably dies here.
The blink forward from Mind Control, Dragon Tail. Yeah, this is looking like a dead Razor. They do have the TP coming out though, so might be looking to pick up any sort of stragglers. Ghost making his way over. They're looking for the open. You have to be careful though. They have quite a few heroes on the side of Nigma over here in this bottom area, and then GH is kind of wandering over just in case. Mind Control blinking forward. Doesn't really want X-Nova, but he'll take X-Nova if necessary, as that Barrow Time does again proc. Get a couple of these hits off, Solar Blind, drag right back in again, so they end up losing their support over on the side of RNG.
I love this build a lot from Sumail. Just rushing the Ethereal Blade. This is something I've seen in pubs a lot recently. Oh man, mind control. Somnus is pretty out of position here.
He is quite a bit here as they immediately identify their target and will put out the damage of Kaka. Going to be able to roll away. Shards, though, coming into play. Somnus doesn't want to go too deep here. They'll use the Rupture. GH sitting a little bit low. They need a bit more damage. They try to go rolling in, but the Fear is going to interrupt. So they won't quite have it, although they do finally get GH, but Ghost perhaps going a bit too far here. They have a lot of ways to go and slow him down, so he's got to be careful. That Illuminate coming a little bit close. Good shield coming out from X Nova with the heal. Mind control getting dove now here after Chalice, and still they aren't able to take down Ghost. So he's still surviving. They'll turn back around over onto Kuroki over on the back line. Somnus trying to fight here with Miracle, and they do finally get him, but they'll end up losing Somnus as well, as now Kuro running for his life. He is on a horse, but Ghost, he's so fast right now. Looks like he's not going to continue to go for that chase because they end up losing Chalice, as he has been left kind of high and dry over here on the side by himself.
That fight is just wild. I mean, I don't even know who that favors. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff happening from both sides. Like Miracle, again, he hit the SF ult, stopping the initiation of Kaka. There was the Invis Rune also from Somnus that protected him like right at the start of that fight. I mean, that was weird. That was like a 4 for 4. That might have been like 5 heroes dying on one side and they just eventually respawn. The fight went on forever.
Ooh, oh, okay, there's a Rupture. Ghost finishing up that BKB is going to try to fight here against Sumail, and it's looking like he's going to be able to get that kill. The chase after GH, it's a double now, going over to the side of the Bloodseeker, as he's a speedy boy, but looks like that's going to be it, and he's going to go back to hitting some creeps as the rest of the team over on the side of RNG making their way over, looking for any stragglers. But Kuro pretty far behind here between the two towers. Kaka going a bit too far, though. Uh-oh, I don't think he meant to do that. The fireball is online to kick back, but there it is. There's the Illuminate from Kuroki, which will finish him off.
Yeah, this fight was crazy. I mean, there's the kick away that happened, too, to protect Ghost. And then X Nova comes in. He's got the shields where, like, Ghost... Look how close he was to dying. Like, if X Nova's not there, multiple times he dodges the Illuminate just by, like, a fraction of a unit of movement speed, or of movement unit in Dota, which I don't know what it is. Centimeters or something. I don't know. I don't know what the units are in Dota. There's a lot going on in that fight, though. That was a crazy team fight.
That was very interesting to see how everything interacted. They do end up losing Chalice, though, in the live game. And they'll go for another smoke play coming out from the side of Nigma. Male and GH on the hunt. Do find themselves Somnus. Gonna try to leap forward. The Evil Eye coming into play. They need a little bit more damage, though, to finish off Somnus. The Walrus Punch coming in. And that'll be a dead Zeus, as Miracle is nearby, just in case. But the other teleport not coming through here from the side of RNG.
It's actually very tanky on Zeus. He just not quite tanky enough. Which, once again, I do want to praise Sumail's builds going for the Ethereal Blade. I feel like they do need just a little bit more magical damage to kill any of these heroes, and it gives them enough.
X Nova in position to break the smoke. They do spot out GH. They can see that they're headed over towards the Roche pit. They don't have the Zeus, though. Will make this a little bit more difficult. Fireball getting placed on the ground. The Eliminate Solar Bind being used on X Nova, and they're smoked up. The roll in over onto Miracle. They'll get the kick with the Rupture, with the silence. The BKB is going to have to come out here, and Ghost, he's trying to fight here, but the Snowball coming into play will buy a bit more time as they have their eyes on Miracle. They'll still be able to find the kill now. The chase is on over after Mind Control. He'll be the next one to drop, and with that BKB Chalice just chasing after Kuro over on the back lines. They'll get Mind Control. They get Kuro, and they're looking to get themselves GH next. A bit of a disaster going over to the side of Nigma, because now this Roshan is open and primed for the taking and has already been injured quite a bit.
Yeah, Moxie, I may have hyped up the SF safe lane a little too much. Miracle's looking real useless in this game after a amazing performance on game one. It's like RNG, they're not buying into this bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, they see that he's this squishy hero and they know that he just does a ton of damage, and as long as they focus him in every fight, he's gonna die and look pathetic. Like, if RNG wasn't confident and they were afraid of this Miracle SF, they would not be hard committing to him like this, right? It's like, even though he has the BKB, they just hard commit. They're like, dude, he's SF, just kill him. Like, this hero's stupid. This is not a safe laner. And it's looking rough. It's looking really rough. Miracle does not have the items to just like man up against all 5 of the RNG heroes. Not currently. I don't know if he can even get them against a Bloodseeker. Who's?
I mean, maybe if he gets like a Satanic, like possibly he survives long enough where the team can do enough damage around him. But yeah, like we just saw in that last fight, you know, they targeted him. They got the Rupture off and the kick, which is a dirty combo right there. And even with the BKB, he just couldn't stand toe to toe because you watch Ghost just run at him. Like, what are we doing, guys? Just kill him, lol.
Yeah, Ghost just mans up. It's very simple.
Kuro getting spotted. They'll use Thunder God's Wrath so that way they can get some vision. Good Ethereal Blade usage over onto Kaka. Looks like he's going to be the first one to fall. GH, though, now getting just a run at. And Ghost, he's so speedy. Looking to see who else he can grab. Does see Mind Control over here, but doesn't feel confident in chasing after him, especially not with that Blink Dagger. So they're happy with this engagement. They still have an Aegis. They only lost Kaka, which I feel is pretty normal in this game with him on the Earth Spirit. He's been a little bit too overcommitting sometimes.
Somebody's got to do it. Your Abaddon's not going to, you know, so
no.
It's his job. Yeah, both 4 positions go down. So not really, like neither team is really caring that much about what happened in the last engagement there. But Nigma, they feel like the momentum is shifted against them with how the last few fights have been going, as well as the fact they're playing into an Aegis. So I guess Nigma, like if they're trading 1 for 1, they're probably happier just based on the state of the game.
Mm-hmm. So what's the, you know, we talked about the safe lane SF, right? And you were very, very excited to see it. But what starts to utilize this hero more? Because he's having difficulty surviving in these fights. Like, is it something that, you know, is it very itemized based, or is it something where, you know, his team has to play around him a little bit differently?
Like you definitely get to some items where, like once he gets like a Silver Edge, like you get to some items where you're just critting for a ton of damage. Like the 20 talent is really impactful too. You get like 50 or 60 extra damage from that one. Presence aura affecting buildings means you can hit towers. So like there are timings with the hero, but I think also just getting a fight where he's allowed to hit somebody without being like gone on by all 5 heroes. So like Mind Control being the first hero that gets gone on the DK is probably something that Nigma's looking for. Like them actually getting the initiation. Just some sort of fight where Miracle can sit and throw a few pot shots without just dying before he gets any hits off.
Oh dear, Kuro getting found over here. Does have the 4-step though up to the high ground. Not going to be able to make it out though. Not with that damage. And important to note too, Ghost has completed himself a full Scotty.
Yep.
Teleports up to the top lane. They see GH need a little bit more damage. They're just going to kite it. Somnus gets himself a double kill.
Tower is under attack.
Kaka is still looking. Kaka does...
I know, he wants it.
He does have BKB, by the way. He just picked up the recipe, so that's a huge timing because we've seen Kaka go into all of these fights and just instantly die, which I think that's the right play. Somebody needs to do this, but now he can go into the fights and actually stay alive for them, which is obviously very important. You're not just going to guarantee that it's a 4v5 at the start of the fight.
I mean, it's a little cheesy, but you know, when you're able to get those initiations, you get the rupture off on, say, Miracle, get the kick, like, it's so important. Also the silence as well, being able to apply that in a lot of these fights. So, makes sense, but he'll have to be very careful in the way that he uses it because, you know, BKBs, they have a longer cooldown time now, which can make things a bit more difficult. Top lane, they just continue to try to spam out these waves, but Ghost eventually will take it out.
Sumal has his too, by the way. He just picked up his BKB. Is there any other BKB timing?
That's big.
Mind Control, he's closing in on. He needs about 1,000 more gold. Zeus, I believe Somnus should have his Aghanim Scepter completed. Yeah, it's coming out to him. So
that's good.
So now this split pushing action that Nigma has been getting involved in for the last little while, they are going to be a lot scareder to do that.
For smoke play as they find themselves Kuro right off the bat, but the fear coming into play. Follow up now here with Chalice just clicking away over to Miracle, almost managing to finish him off and get the kill. Sumail though over on the back lines is being held into place. He is going to die trying to stick his way over this tower, and this middle tower is looking like it belongs to the side of RNG.
Yeah, that fight actually looked kind of bad for RNG at the start. Like Kaka kicked Kuro back onto the high ground by accident, so it was like, oh shit. He kind of saved him, and then Miracle TPing out But Ghost is just so huge. He can just man up on whoever he ruptures and kill them full to 0. Like, it's a 5k gold lead only, but it feels like a lot more than that, just given RNG's heroes.
Opening over onto Miracle, the kick back. They've got the Lotus that they just finished up on Kuro, but they need a little bit more damage. Miracle, they sell the vision. They'll end up losing the Shadow Fiend. As Kaka pops that BKB, the attention is being placed over on the tower. He's gonna dodge out of the way of the Illuminate, but Ghost is continuing again. Still does have, oh, he doesn't have the Aegis anymore. Never mind. You have to be a bit careful and respectful here as we'll go and drop the Fireball, push back RNG.
I'm surprised that Nigma was baiting Miracle there like that. They know he has no BKB, and they know RNG knows that he's got no BKB. And they've like Zeus Earth Spirit, these like crazy magic damage heroes. They felt confident that with this Lotus on Kuro and the Force Staff that Miracle could survive a fight right in front of the barracks there, but they were wrong about that. RNG just does too much damage.
Now they'll take a moment. They're gonna have to regroup. It looks like they'll go for the smoke play, maybe trying to just flush out this area. Get some vision up. Yeah, you can see that Kuro's holding onto a bunch of wards and just seeing if they can get some sort of a pick off while their Shadow Fiend is still dead. Playing it pretty closely, though, to the chest here over on the side of RNG. Kuro does drop one of the observers. Spots a courier. So they know that somebody's nearby. Gonna be Kaka who walks into everything, so he's going to be the sacrifice. Ethereal Blade getting placed over onto Xnova, but they get themselves a little pick up, and now that the Shadow Fiend's back alive, they're just gonna back off here on the side of Nigma.
Yeah, Kaka was 10 seconds, no BKB. Otherwise he survives that, I think. So that's just really good timing from Nigma, and they get a great couple of wards up too from that, even invading the triangle here. Yeah, this was a
like the way
really
that
good smoke.
Xnova has been playing, just putting his body between any sort of entry points, just in case there's smoke trying to find a pick off again. So
Radiant's middle tower
gonna back off here from this top tower on the side of RNG. Do you have a courier sitting over there? Yeah, they just punched that bad boy into oblivion.
What was it? Oh man, that was actually the AC. I mean, I guess Chalice can go and buy it if Nigma walk away from here, which they are. So he'll just go buy it. So not that big of a deal.
Yep. A little bit of dewarding going on, coming off the side of RNG. Nigma, they're double checking this Roche, not quite up yet. Still have a bit of time here.
Sumail is a haste rune. That's actually pretty impactful for the next fight. Like any of these spirits getting a haste at any point in the game is it just makes it so hard for supports to stay alive. But then again, I guess you're playing into, it's really Somnus that he would chase with that, because the supports are not really going to die. There's 2 strength heroes.
A little bit of the invasion coming out here from RNG. They're smoked up. They're looking for any sort of wards. Whereas Nigma, they're just headed over into their triangle area. Dodging a bit, trying to protect, because they don't know where anyone else is. So they'll use the haste rune on Sumail. Does end up getting ruptured here, but he's going to go as far as possible. Another step forward.
Oh,
They'll be able to get Sumail with that Nimbus. It's looking really nice here as Chase is on. They're getting some of this damage from Mind Control. Not quite enough, though, to get the kill, as he does pop his own BKB.
Yeah, so haste is usually pretty good, but when you're against Bloodseeker, it is the opposite.
We talked about the vision. We talked about the vision factor coming in, you know, the fact that, you know, you've got the Thunder God's Wrath, you've got, you know, the Thirst, and then when people are sitting low enough, plus you have a Zeus, you just drop the Nimbus on top of them. So you can't manage to get away a lot of these times unless, you know, you pop your BKB or whatnot. They have so many ways of ensuring that you just can't escape.
Right. In retrospect, like Sumail maybe could have popped the BKB before he TP'd there.
I don't think he wanted to.
But then you're wasting your BKB for 90 seconds. Like he wouldn't have it when he comes back alive. It's like a more important cooldown than your death timer. So it felt like he didn't really have any option there. And all of that was from just like pushing the mid wave. He was just trying to get the wave out. He just can't do that. He can't do that. They've got to leave it to like, it's like Kuro or Mind Control with the Fireball. They need to push the mid wave without actually showing on the mid wave, because RNG is just killing them there.
A long Roche respawn, about 20 seconds to go still, and they are positioned themselves very nicely around this pit area. You've got vision, you've got sentries, you even have a gem picked up now, which Kaka's holding on, because you don't want your Zeus in the middle of everything in these fights. And Kaka does tend to be the person who kind of initiates, unless he gets initiated on here by mind control. So you're gonna see that snowball coming to play. They'll lose Kaka immediately. The buyback though coming out. Chalice is just trying to chase after Miracle, and he's got enough damage, so they'll get the kill on the Shadow Beam. Mind control over on the back end. It's gonna be the Thunder God's Wrath that gets the kill. And now Chalice finishing off GH. Things are looking very good for them to take this Roche that has just respawned.
Once again, RNG just completely hard committing to Miracle. He's looking weak, and the fact that Chalice is literally stealing his damage with the static link is like, he can't just turn and man fight like you see a lot of SFs do. The Zeus damage is making Ghost run incredibly quickly in all of these fights, and he's able to just kill whoever the hell he wants. Yeah, it's like 10k gold at 34 minutes is not the most impactful, but just based on RNG's heroes, like, it's looking impossible for Nigma.
And what's interesting too is the fact that they picked this Razor up so early on, and they still opted to go for the right-click Shadow Fiend build. And they are struggling with it now because they just can't seem to keep him alive.
Look, you see he tries to man up in the fight. He's like, shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, I'm dying. You know,
yeah.
Like, it's just, these are just not heroes that you can really do that against. And
He's giving a bit of a poke here. They're going to try to drag back over here onto Ghost. So that is going to be the Aegis. It's coming right back up again. The roll forward here. The kick from Kaka, just separating mind control from everybody else. Chalice just sapping away all of that damage. I'll wait patiently. You can see X Nova just healing people back up again. They don't have the creep wave just yet, so it looks like they might make a little bit of a pivot here. So they've hit a couple creeps. And now they've got a Cardi, so the way that Kaka's in position, he's waiting for anyone to show up. Taz used the BKB, though, so it does have to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, I mean, RNG has no reason to really push this. It's like, they've won it basically every team fight for the last 20 minutes. The game momentum feels absolutely in their favor. Both of these teams feel that, just like we do. There's towers to get. They don't have Aegis. They don't have BKB timings. Like, they can really just chill, and they're more than happy in this game.
Oh boy, yeah, they spot themselves the GH here over on the corner. Poor guy was just trying to go out and probably, you know, do a little warning, get some vision. He figured he was safe behind two towers.
He was trying to do something. Like, you can't just sit in your base, right? It's just get out, push a creep wave with ice shards and snowball. Everybody sitting in the base feels awful, and Miracle's trying to do the same thing. RNG, man, they're not letting Nigma out of their base without some sort of punish.
Look at that scan, they know immediately. He's the Nimbus. Chase after Miracle. He's got a BKB TP out. He cannot stay here, and that is not the way you want to be using that BKB, but it's the only option that you have if you want to survive. But now that's a pretty big cooldown that they're gonna have to be very mindful of over on the side of Nigma.
Yeah, RNG is just not letting Nigma get anything. With the BKB cooldown, it's like every single time Nigma has had a chance to do something, it's like, okay, we try to get it on the map. GH dies, they don't let him out. We try to get Miracle out on the map. He has to press BKB, and now you have this moment where like RNG can take any fight, and there's no BKB on SF, so it's a good fight. Like, they're just doing an exceptional job at like maintaining their lead by not letting Nigma do anything to get back into the game, whether it's farming or fighting.
Go back in for that smoke play here. They'll find themselves Kuro, but they got bigger. They just keep hunting Miracle. They want the Shadow Fiend, but he's been playing it pretty safe, been dodging away. He's got the BKB still on cooldown for another 27 seconds. So he's just trying to get deeper and deeper into the jungle where he figures, okay, RNG doesn't want to be on their side of the map if possible.
Yeah, so I'm going to use the refresher in the last fight, by the way, to cancel the Miracle, or to catch Miracle. So Miracle knows that when he's out like this, Zeus does not have ult, he does have Nimbus, but without the ult, there's no way to scout for any TPs. And there's a DD. They've got a DD rune. Bottle has been dropped. Ghost is going to go over and pick that up.
Oh boy. Chalice was like, huh, you guys are in our side of the jungle. This is our side of the jungle now, so. He immediately deals with Kuroki. And now you've got Smail and Miracle hiding in this tree line. Oh, and they use the ult to get the scouting vision here. So Smail gonna teleport away. Still have Miracle standing nearby, but no, he's gonna teleport out.
I gotta say, Nigma's actually doing a pretty good job at like getting out on the map and not just like sitting in their base doing nothing. Like they're sneaking around and being pretty annoying. I mean, they're obviously not gaining gold, but the gold lead has not really changed in the last few minutes, and you know, that's a silver lining.
That is, and I am impressed with the way, you know, Miracle has gotten caught a couple times because, let's face it, this combo is just very difficult for him not to get caught. But he has been making these nice, not farming patterns necessarily, but just the moves around the map. Like we said, you know, you don't want RNG. They don't want to play on their side of the map if possible. They're going to want to continuously be pushing. But if you are hunting the Shadow Fiend who just keeps going deeper and deeper towards your side of the map, you are going to start making space, drawing in attention. And then he teleports out, usually in the nick of time. So you're doing a great job of playing cat and mouse and just trying to get more gold on their heroes if possible. Keep the waves pushed. Like you see the bottom lane, mind control. And you put some pressure down. Getting those neutral items now getting dropped as well.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I like the Nigma. They go for a smoke there, but they're just like fishing for opportunities, you know. And by the way, I think a big reason why they can get out on the map like this is because of Kuro, because of the recall that they have.
You see how much of Kuro's health just disappeared with that one ultimate? Oof.
Yes, it was quite pathetic as Kaka.
That makes you feel bad. Yeah, finds himself Miracle, but okay, they'll drop the Nimbus. Chalice, kind of close the gap here, and there's that BKB coming into play. Miracle's had to use this so defensively, but it will keep him alive a little bit longer.
And they go immediately TP towards top, trying to catch Sumail, who's doing the exact same thing. He probably doesn't need to BKB.
Maybe. I say probably, but I don't know. That's a lot of damage. There's the BKB. Gonna try to go and just dive into the corner. And he and Kuro, Kuro's not gonna make it out though, because they have the Nimbus, they've got the damage. Somnus will clean up.
This is just good Dota. This is good Dota. I mean, obviously we'd like the game to be like a little more even. It's just cooler that way, cooler fights. But like Nigma, they're doing a pretty good job at getting out on the map, but RNG is also doing a really good job at punishing them to the fullest extent that they can. Forcing the BKBs and like Kaka going for this kill bot to like immediately TPing top. Not letting up any pressure whatsoever. It's just good Dota.
Pressure on here in the top lane. They open up with Thunder God's Wrath. And they'll chase back over on these back lines. They want mind control. You see the refresher getting popped. They'll get the kill on mind control. Turn their attention over to Miracle. Miracle, he just cannot survive this as they'll get that kill. They'll take down GH. There is no buyback on Miracle. Did buyback on mind control, and they have the fortification. RNG, they're going to back off for the moment. They'll wait for the creep wave to arrive. And again, it is difficult to fight against Kuro, but they do fortify, get those creeps into the base. But I'm not sure how they're going to approach us now. In fact, Somnus just teleports out. He's like, all right, we got the kill on Miracle. We forced 2 buybacks. Let's chill for a moment.
Yeah, they don't know if Miracle has buyback or not. They can see that he bought a butterfly, so like maybe he doesn't, but it's hard to make that calculation. And you see a lot of really good teams doing this these days, just hyper valuing Roshan. And like you probably could go high ground, but just understanding that like the game does not get easier for Nigma at any point. If you just wait for Roche to respawn, which it's only going to respawn in a minute and 30, you win the game anyway, right? So like why not take the safer option? I've seen this a lot recently, where these good teams, like it looks like they have an opportunity to go high ground, but then they just choose to like back out and Roche. It depends on the patch. In some patches, like people will force high ground when there's a death because it's just like really hard to high ground, or I don't know, something like that. But I feel like you can, if you have a gold lead, you can like dive and get kills pretty easily, right? So it's like if you just get Aegis, you just win.
I mean, it's also at one point, I remember the Chinese team's mentality was, you know, do you have the win condition? And the win condition was Roshan. Oh boy, look at this mind control, walks into Kaka, immediately BKB TPs out. But yeah, I mean, if you already have this map domination, right, in RNG, you don't have to really worry like about anyone kind of pushing their way too far out without getting punished. Why not take the safer route? And in this case, you know, sometimes we complain like teams are waiting maybe a little bit too long. I think it's absolutely fine in this situation to just continue to, you know, gain that gold lead and slowly starve out Nigma. But on the plus side of that for Nigma, they're doing a great job of being able to kind of make these moves because, again, they have Kuro with the recall and you've got BKB TPs, and they really don't have anything to really deal with that yet, I don't think, over on the side of RNG. They might get themselves a... they do have the Basher, but eventually they'll have the Abyssal.
Yeah, that's it. Like, Bloodseeker's not really the hero that's running around and, like, stopping people from TPing anyway. Right. He doesn't have, like, a Blink Dagger or something like that to do that. I guess a Sheep Stick, which Chalice is going for, by the way. He's got a Blink already, and so he's going to have the Blink Sheep. And that's when Nigma and their split pushing is going to look pretty rough. Oh, by the way, I want to point this out. They had a Courier, and they dropped the gem in the pit on RNG, because the gem does give vision. So that's like one of the few ways to see into the Roche pit, which is really cool. That's a T Governor strat right there. He's going to be very excited that this actually happened in a game.
Can already hear him going, ooh, you know how he does that like sound?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of noise.
He's got a very specific like ooh sound that he makes when he gets excited, and like his little hands like clasped together. That Thunder God's Wrath again, trying to get any sort of information. Still have the refresher. Okay, they just want to get rid of Kuro. God. They use 2 Nimbuses on him and 2 ultimates. So I mean, they don't have to worry now about having to deal with that. There'll be the Lotus getting used here in the top lane against Smail. We do have those charges of Rupture now too, so.
That's an insane talent. I feel like this hero...
The 2 Rupture charges?
Yeah, Bloodseeker's late game is just so strong. Because, like, you don't have to commit to an Ags to get this 2 Rupture thing anymore. Like, you're just this crazy utility, like, pure damage hero with the 2 Ruptures, but then also you build carry items.
Oh boy, all right, the opening here over onto Chelsea is gonna have to pop the BKB, eats the cheese. They'll get the tower, try to sap some more of this damage, goes for the refresher here, holding still over onto mind control. Need to get a little bit more damage. Don't quite have it. The roll forward, though, coming out from Kaka. The kick back over onto Miracle. They know who they have to murder, and it is the Shadow Fiend. As they do manage to get the kill on mind control now, GH ticking down very, very low. He's going to be the next one to fall. Sumail, he popped that BKB, but Kaka's here. There's no longer any way to save him, so that is going to be a dead Void Spirit. They do end up buying back on Sumail and Miracle, though. The step forward, try to close the gap over onto Somnus. Not going to be able to quite manage to get a kill here. Now, the question is, you still have an Aegis on Ghost, and you've got those Rupture charges here. The roll forward from Kaka. He's looking for a kickback, but he's gone just a little bit too far, so he's going to end up dying. And now Ghost just getting clipped away here by Sumail, by Miracle. Turns back around, gets the hit off over onto Miracle. Needs a little bit more damage, though. Even with this Nimbus. Might be able to get a kill on Sumail, but Ghost, nah. They'll respect it. They'll back off. They got themselves a tower mid-racks, and they forced out some really large buybacks over on the side of Sumail and Miracle.
Yeah, and both of these heroes are super killable. Man, Miracle has a lot of items, and he is just looking at completely like paper in these fights. Zeus, Bloodseeker, Razor, like all of these heroes are doing an obscene amount of damage. I don't know what the play is.
It's so difficult. It's so difficult for him because you can preemptively BKB, right? But it's hard to figure out the exact timing on it. So you open up with like a Thunder God's Wrath and a Nimbus, and already you've lost a ton of health. So then maybe you try to go for the BKB, but then you still have all this physical damage that's being dumped out on you from the Bloodseeker and the Razor. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's just such a hard game for Miracle to survive, because the start of these fights, unless they're getting a really good initiation, which they have had a couple, it's just so hard for him to start a fight with full HP.
I think Chalice in that fight, by the way, got off 4 static links. He static linked twice in a VKB and then refresh and then used 2 static links again. So he's forcing out a lot of stuff on him. Because it's like, are you really going to let a 4 static link Razor like run around and suck the damage of your guys? And, you know, like, he's going to kill you if you don't you know, run away from him or focus him. Oh man, yeah. I guess the Miracle, like, we're getting into rapier territory. Rapier plus minus armor sounds pretty good.
Does sound pretty good, but it's also pretty scary when you consider X-Nova's just finished himself the Wraith Pact, which is going to reduce even more of the damage coming out from the side of Nigma. It just, I don't know. Ghost here. Okay. Hi, Kuro. That Force Staff's not going to be able to have you survive that much longer because in comes Chalice. He's going to remove Kuroki. He's just running after Mind Control. They have those charges of Rupture, plus the BKB GH trying to buy a bit more time. He's next to fall. It's a triple kill for Chalice. And now Miracle is going to get abyssaled, and he's going to pop in the mid lane. So no buyback on the Shadow Fiend. They did buy back over on Kuroki, but no buyback for Tusk, no buyback for Mind Control. It's going to be up to Sumail and Kuro to try to keep them off the buildings, and that's a tall order.
And that is a Razor.
That is a roll over onto Kuro. Kuro's dead. I'll chase after Sumail into the fountain. Yeah, that's a team wipe. The GG gets called. So RNG, they are going to bite back with a vengeance here. And this game number 2.
Okay, so Safe Lane SF didn't work out so well.